On Outback Truckers, it's make or break for Turbo. On this trip, he's pushing a pain barrier, and his truck, that's not good, to the limit.
Two vids today now.
Heavy haulage expert Mark Cromwell.
In this day and age,
There's no margin for error.
A house.
As he stakes his reputation on the biggest job of his career.
A house.
And Outback veteran Dennis Kent is heading into storm country, while everyone else is heading out.
Okay.
It just rains and rains and rains. Get stuck here and you're stuck for months. 47-year-old Queenslander Turbo is his own boss. He drives his rig his way.
There's only 2 speeds and weight. Yeah, what next on? Single bird, single post. Idiot! I transport anything oversized loads, machinery, trucks, planes, helicopters.
Helicopter?
The long-haul specialist has clocked up more than 30 years behind the wheel.
I've spent too long building my reputation and my business to ever miss a deadline or to ever miss a delivery.
On this job, he's delivering mining machinery from his home in Brisbane to Darwin in the Northern Territory.
That's 3,500 kilometers.
At nearly 4,000 kilometres, it's like driving the length of the UK 4 times.
Wow.
And more than 55 hours of hard pounding highway hell. But for the last 2 months, a back injury has meant he's barely been able to manage a fraction of that.
Having to stop probably every 2-3 hours. I'm going to get out and I'm going to walk around for 10 minutes. Then I'm going to keep having the medication, painkillers and anti-inflammatories for it.
Turbo's still recovering from hospital treatment to deal with the problem. For 6 long weeks, he's been at home recuperating.
It has been a while since I've been out on a good trip now since I've been in hospital.
And with his wheels not turning, money's getting tight.
Well, they were up on paying anyway.
Yeah, he wasn't going to unload unless they paid.
The run to Darwin will bring in vital business, but it won't come cheap.
You know,
Diesel kills you.
Fuel to get up there. I mean, $4,500 to come home. So there's $9,000.
How much in diesel?
Turning, money's getting tight.
Well, they were up on paying anyway.
Yeah, he wasn't going to unload unless they paid.
The run to Darwin will bring in vital business, but it won't come cheap.
You know, at $4,500 in fuel to get up there. I mean, $4,500 to come home. So there's $9,000 in fuel on the round trip in a week.
Turbo's a one-man, one-truck firm. Making money means keeping moving. With 4,000 kilometres ahead, one piece of bad luck could mean disaster for Turbo and his business.
If we get a delay that's going to hold us up 12, 14 hours, mate, we're absolutely... Just to get a dead straight line.
In South Australia, 42-year-old Mark Cromwell is about to take on the biggest job of his 10-year heavy haulage career. It's a colossal 7.5 metre wide, 25 metre long, 95-ton electrical switch room.
A power box.
Destined for a remote gas plant at the end of one of Australia's roughest roads.
Wow.
The Strzelecki track.
I did say I'd never take this truck or trailer on the Strzelecki track. I made that comment. And then this job coming.
Mark's travelling from Adelaide to Moomba.
Moomba.
1,000 kilometres into the guts of the South Australian outback.
Hello.
His freight is wider than 2 military tanks. And heavier.
We're reacting to Outback Truckers, episode 7 and 8.
This monster load comes with a
So that's what we're doing.
price tag, $3 million. It's not your trucking job.
Yeah, that's what Turbo has paying gas. $9,000 in gas. That's what Turbo has to pay for his trip he's doing. Yeah, I was watching Albert Truckers. So yeah. Got anything to say? Put in the chat. I'll answer your questions. I'm just trying something different today.
The switch room is designed to be transported in 3 separate parts. But Mark's put his neck on the line, saying he can haul it as one massive bill.
So it's just having some fun doing these interaction videos right now. Right into Albert Truckers episode 7 and 8. That's about it. I'm gonna do some more videos for that, but got anything to say, guys? Just put in the chat. I'll read it. I do everything from A to Z on this channel, from A to Z. So yeah, from doing anime, from art to anime to doing zoo stuff's going to the zoo. I do it.
It's a nail-biting moment. The load must be perfectly centered.
6 minutes.
There'll be a telltale sign.
So you didn't miss much.
And if he does hear a big crack,
so I'm doing 2 episodes. Each episode's an hour long, so I'm gonna be on for 2 hours. So you didn't miss much. And you can ask me anything, and I'll answer it. I got all 3 cats in here, so yeah. Instead, I'm just reacting. I do everything from A to Z on my channel.
it's time to lock it down.
So, yeah. I got some Coke. Oh, yeah, I got some Coke. Yes, I actually do have Coke.
In Australia's tropics, dirt roads
What do you?
and dusty one day.
Doing art, doing gaming, doing this, doing that. You know, a little everything from A to Z. I got some plans coming up this week. That's all I can say. I got a car show going to car shows. Those are pretty fun. Which I'm going to one of those in about next week. Going to a car show next week live. Which I usually don't go live on my phone, but I have to because I got work. I got work that Saturday, so yeah.
As the going gets tough,
I mean, a little everything. Art. I like doing art, like making art. I mean, that's my thing. I'm working on my own book. I'm working on my own TV show, kinda. I'm still working on the script for my TV show. I'm working on episode 8 right now. My TV show, 10 episodes I'm doing.
Dennis is taking
So yeah,
cooking supplies from Mariba
I go to the diner. I go to the diner 3 times a week.
in Queensland
Relax. Go to the diner 3 times a week to relax with some buddies, and that's about it.
through the Cape,
Yeah.
loaded with heavy machinery.
So I do everything.
After years of deliveries, clients have become close mates.
It's like a big family in the Cape to me. I love the people up there.
Dang, you're driving a Mercedes? That is not cheap to run. A Mercedes is not cheap to run.
That's what they call me.
You must have.
Experience earned Dennis his nickname and his reputation.
Wow.
They say it, the old fella can't do
You own a Mercedes truck. That's not cheap to repair.
But you can't fight nature. The Cape has a 5-month tropical wet season.
Wow. 5 months of rain? Wow.
We just get downpours sometimes. It just rains and rains and rains.
I gotta get that book stuff done with before March in February. Yeah. I got to October to get that one thing done with. So yeah.
You know, it changes all the time. It changes every week.
Once the road floods, remote communities can be cut off for up to 5 months.
Wow. 5 months.
We don't have to worry too much. Because it's not, it's a wet season, so it's like playing Russia roulette.
With rain due, the road could close any day now.
It's good.
Wapa? We've been telling us like that here in Michigan called Wasippi. Wasippi. Population 2. Yeah, I live in a pretty weird community in Michigan.
To deliver his load, Dennis is putting his faithful Mercedes truck on the line.
You might have to leave your truck in there over the wet if you park it that bad.
So yeah, we're just doing this first interaction video, so yeah.
Together, they've been taking on extreme conditions for over 15 years.
Tyler Milton.
Really strong motor and go places where other trucks won't.
I said HMC to my YouTube channel name, so I don't get mixed up with the football player. And I do videos daily, so yeah, I do tons of videos daily.
Nowhere for months and months.
I do pre-record and I do random videos daily, so yeah.
Not much left by the time we go back.
Yeah, I do. Like I said, I do daily videos, so yeah.
End of his truck altogether.
I changed my YouTube channel name because it was just the
Turbo's
last one I had was just too damn long, so I changed it.
hospital trip.
I wanted someone to have my name on it, so yeah, I changed it to my name so I wouldn't have that problem.
After weeks off the road, it's
Thanks.
a vital run for his business. He's got more kilometres ahead of him in one night than he's driven in weeks.
Wow.
Hauling 2 trailers and
Oh,
machines
Turbo.
to a client in Durham.
That'll be a long night.
Standing in his way is the 664-metre high Toowoomba Range.
Ooh.
Hey, look, yeah, we're actually on the bottom of the range.
10% grade. Wow.
Turbo's truck can pull up to 140 tonnes, but with just 34 on board, it's struggling.
We should be doing a lot better than this. I say I'm starting to become a little bit of a concern. It's got gold pressure.
Uh-oh.
It's actually putting the temperature right up over where I want it to be.
High temperature and low oil pressure could do serious damage to Turbo's engine.
End up bloody damaging camshafts and end up, God knows what damage you ever do inside.
On such a crucial job, that's damage he can't afford.
I break them down up here, mate. Let's shut half the range down, mate. Just get a bloody tow truck, pull it up. I don't want to do that. You don't want to have a breakdown going up here.
It's 5 a.m. on the biggest day of Mark Cromwell's career. He's about to begin a marathon trek to deliver a 95-tonne switch worm to a gas plant. Before he can leave, he must comply with strict police regulations.
If we miss the sunrise, then they won't let us leave. They'll cancel the permit.
If Mark can't leave by sunrise, he'll have to wait a month to get new permits.
A month?
First, police must check the load.
Yeah. We're just going through the legals of it, where the police just have to measure everything to the permit, make sure what the permit says we are in terms of length, our axle spacings.
If Mark's measurements are out by even a centimetre, he won't be going anywhere. Every day he's late will cost his company $50,000 in damages.
We're going to be out the gates before sunrise.
With a month's wait for a new permit, a tiny mistake could cost $1.5 million. It's 3:40 a.m. in Queensland.
They can't go.
Dennis Dent is leaving early to try and stay ahead of the weather. With the wet season due to break at any time, he must complete his 1,400-kilometre run before the rain drops. With just a few hours into the journey, his truck alerts him to a battery problem.
Uh-oh.
It's not charging.
It's a bad start to a long trip. The old
Back in a minute. In 2 weeks, I gotta do it in 2 weeks.
alternator is a crucial part of the truck's electrical system.
Supplies the power for the lights and the battery.
If Dennis can't fix it, it could end his trip.
The batteries are floating on the outside.
He's hoping the fault is just mud on his alternator brushes, which help charge the truck's battery. He needs to quickly find a replacement. It's early days, but already the whole trip hangs on one tiny spare part.
Looks like I'll fix the problem.
With the truck back to full health, Dennis can push on. Soon, the road to Cape York is ahead. With the wet season due, it's one-way traffic, apart from Dennis. If the rains arrive, Dennis risks getting stranded.
It's a big fly.
The road can just appear out so quickly.
Information about what's ahead is priceless. Out of phone range, Dennis is relying on his fellow truckers.
Other truck drivers coming down, tell you about the bad spots or what's happening.
And the news isn't good.
Getting the rain up there, and what about down the track?
Halfway through a vital report, the radio's out of range. Dennis is heading into the unknown. Just 100 kilometers into his journey, Turbo's truck is struggling to make it up the Toowoomba Range.
We're over the halfway point now.
Darwin is still more than 3,000 kilometers away.
Actually pick it up now.
It's a worrying start to his run. But as night falls, engine trouble isn't Turbo's only problem.
My neck is already starting to twinge and ache on me now, which is not good. I'm going to have to deal with pain and agony of driving and
I thought the cigarettes help you out with Turbo.
just going through the leg.
If he's to make his delivery in time, Turbo needs to push on.
I thought smoking a cigarette was supposed to help you.
He's heading into one of the most remote sections of his run, a 300-kilometer stretch of near empty outback highway. Turbo's alone in the dead of night. It's not a place you want to break down. But up ahead, there's a worrying sight.
Drop something. Pull up and find out, if everyone's all right or what's going on, so you can be assistance. No driver around.
The truck looks abandoned, 100 kilometers from the nearest town.
It's not bloody good at all. But from what I can see, he's bloody sheared an axle, 50 ton of bloody tree.
Ooh.
Come along down laying on the side somewhere. Might just go for a quick wander, see if he's up there, see if there's something we can do.
It's time Turbo can't spare, but out here, truckers rely on each other.
You break down, you are totally isolated. You don't have a mobile phone that you can pick up and go, I need help. Nothing like a nice walk in the middle of the night down in the middle of nowhere.
Who knows what the driver is, eh? He's just gone to live somewhere, who knows?
There's nothing more Turbo can do. He needs to get back on the road.
Hope he's alright. Maybe he is alright. We got somewhere, so hopefully he should have help coming out soon. Alright. Well, might as well pick out himself.
Outside Adelaide, Mark Cromwell must leave his loading yard by sunrise. or risk a $1.5 million delay.
We'll just check all the lights and then we'll be
Yeah.
all
Okay. Steady.
Finally, Mark's got the all clear. His journey can begin. Carrying the biggest load of his career, he has 1,000 kilometers to go.
Wow.
But after just 200 meters, he meets his first challenge. A bridge that's 20 centimeters lower than Mark's multi-million-dollar freight.
Alright. Just get me close to the bridge and then I'll drop it, Sylvia.
To get under it, Mark will have to lower his 96-wheel hydraulic trailer to just millimeters off the ground.
We're gonna go upstairs and we're gonna reset it.
In this game, just 1 millimeter can make all the difference between success and failure. Mark's measurements must be spot on.
You ready, Brad? Just give me a bit of a push.
In Queensland, Dennis Dent is driving into unknown road conditions. So far, he's made good progress, but ahead is a notoriously difficult stretch of dirt track and river crossings.
We've got to keep it away from the rocks so that the rocks don't slice the tires. You've got to get the roads right, the gear right, you've got to tolerance and affection.
Hit the steep drops too slowly, and he'll get bogged going up the other side. Too fast, and he risks serious damage to his truck.
Slamming down in the creek.
The final river crossing is the steepest.
Always worry about this crossing.
Dennis has been bogged here before.
Stuck on it for a long time. But, you know, many trips as you do on here, always worry about it.
Finally through the worst, Dennis's first delivery is just ahead in Lockhart River. Thanks to him, contractor Steve Spencer can continue building work all year round.
Well, come the wet season, the roads are closed. We rely on them. That's all we need to get gear up here. We're batching concrete flat out, so without the powder, there's no building going on throughout the wet. We'll probably get an arvo storm and hopefully it doesn't mess the road up enough.
With a storm forecast for later, Dennis's work is far from over. For the return journey, he's picking up two 20-ton steamrollers. It's a simple job, or at least it should be.
Yeah.
Mark Cromwell is squeezing his $3 million load under a low ridge.
You just don't know what's going on 25 metres back.
You're not right. Okay.
Yeah. With less than 10 centimetres to spare, the tiniest error could end in disaster.
Are we clear, Brad?
Finally, Mark's out of the woods.
Want to do some gaming there? Yeah.
Trees.
Ooh, tree time.
We're just about to get to some really low trees. Not a great deal of room, and if we damage it, we're going to pay and we're going to fix it.
The outside of the building is fitted with gas pipes, lights, and motion sensors. A single branch could seriously damage anyone.
The whole time you're looking in the trees, looking for any heavy branches that you realise you can't just like skim over the roof.
But you gotta have the branch the other right. Right front branch is not looking too good. You can make it hold it.
Oh, that sucks.
Mark's taking a hit, but there's no damage.
That's
I
good.
didn't see the end of these trees, that's for sure. It slowed us right up.
To make up lost time, Mark needs to push on. But just around the corner is the city of Adelaide. Population 1.2 million. And he's heading into rush hour. By now, Dennis Dent should have been on his way out of Cape York.
1.2 million? Oh, wow.
Instead, he's struggling to start a 20-ton steamroller. He's out of phone range and running out of patience.
This had to go as far as we can do. But I did it. You know, when I come out to help you load.
Things are going from bad to worse. He's been given the wrong key. With an afternoon storm on the way, Dennis needs to get moving. Time to go back to basics.
Instruction manual.
Hopefully, a little mechanical mouse will sort it.
Oh. Yeah, we got action.
The cutoff switch. The cutoff switch.
Fully loaded, Dennis is hauling nearly 60 tons. When the rain comes, these roads can turn into muddy bogs. But the dry, dusty soil can be just as slippery. Holding a heavy load up a series of steep hills is a recipe for getting dry bogged.
Lose traction. Wheel starts spinning and that's the end of it.
But it's Dennis's only way out. Ahead is the steepest of the bunch. He's been stuck here before. To get up it, Dennis must get the power down. And fight the road for every metre. Hauling 60 tons of dead weight. It's a battle even Dennis can't win. He's alone in the outback. Help could be a long way away. After weeks with no income due to an injured back, Turbo's going hard to meet a critical deadline.
I have never ever missed a delivery, ever. And I'm not about to start to.
He's racing to complete a job for a new client, deliver on time, and he could score regular work to help get his business back on track. But it's just not Turbo's day.
Who the hell puts traffic lights in the middle of football?
Roadworks, the thing Turbo loves to hate.
I've been so far behind last night, now I'm going to get held up here. Is it my turn yet? Thank you. Classic good. They all stand around just talk. Not actually working, they're just standing there talking. Honestly, I reckon they got their brain down to crossway box. Stop. And stop. Again. Oh, this is delays that I don't want. Oh, hallelujah. All up the roadworks in a matter of bloody 10 kilometres. That's usually when I get a little bit peeved off. Delay up, delay.
After an hour and a half of crawling between stop signs,
I'm that far behind time, it's not funny now.
every delay puts Turbo further behind his vital deadline.
Where's the end of all this bloody roadworks?
Mark Cromwell is headed for the city of Adelaide, straight into the morning rush hour. The massive load has brought one of the city's busiest roads to a snail's pace. Behind him, drivers are losing their cool.
What the hell?
Rabbit in the spotlight.
But Mark must stay focused. He's about to attempt the tightest corner of his whole journey. Getting round safely will mean swinging 35 metres of switch room onto the wrong side of the road.
Here we're just trying to get as far to the left as possible so that I can allow for the tail swinging so that the building doesn't clip this sign.
Mark's driving blind.
How am I like on the right for the tail swing?
It's pilot Silvio's job to warn him if he's going to hit.
You got the guardrails on the left-hand side?
But what Mark and the team don't know is that Dan Cook, their boss, is watching them.
This is the real tricky bit where it gets a bit tight.
All eyes are on the sign on Mark's right.
What was that noise?
But the pilots have missed one on the other side.
Get on the left and watch my left.
I'm watching the left on the mirror. There's someone there with a silk tie.
So you see it all?
Yeah, I can't see the last one, mate.
Silvio, pull up there and pop out the van, mate.
While Silvio races to get a better view, the undercover boss lends a hand.
The motorcycle's going to help you out here. He's directing the truck around the corner. Doing your work inside.
They've made it through, thanks to help from the biker.
Where's his boss?
Finally, Mark gets a good look at the mysterious stranger.
That's I know what he did. That was the company director. He's just come out with his girlfriend on the motorbike. So he's come and witnessed the only sign we hit. Just having a little brush.
Uh-oh. The company director, that has to suck. Who's the company director?
Is dry bogged on a steep hill in the midst of the Queensland bush.
I didn't think I'd be over here.
He needs to get out fast
What a guy.
before any rain can turn dust to mud. He's in luck. 2 empty mining trucks have arrived. If they can get ahead of Dennis, they should be able to tow him out.
Oh, that's nice.
The hills claimed another victim. And now, The road's completely blocked.
And this is steep here, it's loose.
Daylight's fading fast and rain's due. The stranded trucks must get out before dark. A passing four-wheel drive volunteers to help. It's up to a 2.5-ton car to haul a 30-ton road train through. It's a long shot, but their only chance.
That's a Toyota. That's a Toyota for you. Tough as hell.
The empty mine truck has made it. But with 60 tons on board, pulling Dennis out will be a heavyweight battle. Mark Cromwell has made it through the city of Adelaide. His next mission is to find a safe place to stop for the night.
That pub's looking pretty good. If only that Hyundai wasn't there, I think we'd just about fit.
By law, his massive load is too big to be driven after dark, and sunset is just 15 minutes away.
Just for everyone's safety, we need to make sure we get off the road.
The designated parking area is on the other side of a railway crossing, 13 kilometres away.
13 Ks. Only got 15 minutes.
Railway crossings are notoriously dangerous.
Well, we're not allowed to cross this rail until we get clearance from train control. Just let them know that we're going to cross their line, just make sure there's no big freight trains coming along.
If he doesn't get the call by 5 p.m, Mark will have no choice but to park here, blocking one of the main highways out of Adelaide.
They answer. Only occasionally.
It's a nervous wait for Mark.
Some days, you know, the bloke that's sitting there's gone to the toilet, or he's chatting to his mate, he's not there.
Until finally,
Well, that's cutting a bit fine. Yeah.
it's close, but there's still time. Mark checks for himself that the coast is clear.
Yeah, never trust someone else.
Safely on the other side, the parking bay is just ahead.
Okay.
It's the end of a huge day for Mark and his team. But their journey is just getting started. Tomorrow, they face one of the hottest, meanest stretches of dirt in Australia, the Strzelecki track. Turbo still has 3,000 kilometres to go on his vital cross-country run. He must be in Darwin in 4 days. To make it in time, he needs to pull out all the stops.
Ooh, yay, 101.
From nowhere,
Something's not right. Something's not right at all.
Turbo's engine trouble is back.
Engine temperature's actually running up pretty high. The oil pressure's actually dropped down below 300.
It's the same problem he's had before, but a whole lot worse.
If it completely drops oil pressure, it's game over. Yeah, I'm bloody worried because it drops oil pressure means there's no oil actually injecting to lubricate the pistons. which then will actually seize the engine. So there's about $45,000 to get a new engine done.
Turbo's already under massive financial pressure. A blown engine could break his business.
I can get up here and pull up and have a look at it. That's not good. Oil coming out of the filter.
The engine's losing oil. This won't be an easy fix.
You're going to drain all the oil out of it. You've got to pull the sump off it and clean it off. And it's not a 5-minute job.
Turbo can't make repairs here. He'll have to risk driving to the next town. A day and a half away.
700-800 kilometres and there's nothing. There is nothing at all.
If the problem gets any worse, it could cost Turbo big time.
If I've got to make the phone call and get someone to come out, no profit. No profit at all.
He still has 4 more days of hard trucking to go, with a precious job on the line. After weeks of frustration, waiting to get back in the cab, it's the last straw.
These! Jesus! I don't need these right now. Things are set up join me.
Dennis Dent is still trying to rescue his truck from a dry bog. 2 9 trucks are now lined up in front of him. It's down to them to pull Dennis out. All hope rests on a single chain.
This guy's saying pretty close to it. This chain snaps it. What's it do?
The high tension line has to pull 60 tons.
Ooh, chain snapped.
It's a disaster. The rain is imminent. Dennis needs to give the chain one more try, or risk his truck getting stranded here for months.
There you go.
Together, the 3 truckers have made it. Finally, Dennis is heading home. He's risked the weather, battled the mud, and the dust in some of the toughest wilderness in Australia. But out here is where outback legends are made.
Episode 8.
Back truckers. Midway through a vital run, Turbo's feeling the heat. Dust! And the pressure.
All I can do is just laugh. Because if I don't laugh, I'm going to cry.
Mark Cromwell is riding a highway through hell.
Sorry, guys. You may know him over the vision.
It sounds so cool.
He doesn't. Well,
Let's go with this thing.
You know what's smart? Treating yourself without cheating the goals. Eat smart with Factor.
So I'm doing
On Outback Truckers, midway through a vital run, Turbo's feeling the heat. It's hot! And the pressure.
All I can do is just laugh. Because if I don't laugh, I'm going to cry.
Mark Cromwell is riding a highway through hell.
I think we've got a break dragging. Gosh, it's dragging the guts out of it.
In a fight to complete the biggest job of his career.
Stop, Mark.
And in Australia's trucking heartland,
Here for that's 44 degrees.
Heather Jones is battling blowouts
Turn your knees and everything.
and disaster
We did a little bit of fatality. We got to hit someone.
to deliver a monster crane. In southern Queensland, owner-operator Turbo is racing a tough deadline and the setting sun.
Can't tell this bastard don't ride anymore. I can't wait to see what the hell the road is like. I can see you here. I can see. I told you that I know what
The 47-year-old long-haul specialist is midway through a 4-day journey, hauling 34 tons of building equipment from his home in Brisbane to Darwin, one of the world's most remote cities. At 3,500 kilometres, it's a massive trek, like travelling from London to Cairo. But after just a day on the road,
on.
Turbo's battling to keep the job on track.
It's become an absolute race against time.
And time's not his only problem. After 1.3 million kilometres of hard trucking, Turbo's engine is in urgent need of repair.
I've got 6 years coming up here. That's not normal.
A replacement will cost him $45,000.
I'll come down and build it.
It's cash he doesn't have.
These. Need these right here.
But Turbo's truck isn't the only thing playing up. Over the last few weeks, he's been laid up with a back problem.
It is tender today, yes.
This trip is his first long run back in the cab.
All that bounce around last night didn't really help at all.
After weeks off work, his business badly needs the cash from this job. He must make it to Darwin in one piece and on time. 2,500 kilometres from his destination,
Bloody hell, fellas, today.
Turbo's ready to hit the road. What he needs is a good run into Darwin,
What's going on?
but his truck has other plans.
Not good. We've got a little problem. He's completely blown the bloody fuse circuit, so I've got to get into the fuse box.
Fixing an electrical problem means yet more delays.
Why has this happened to me? Just when I thought today was going to be a good day.
He's already behind schedule.
Not this today.
Taking his cab to pieces is the last thing Turbo needs. The Pilbara, Western Australia. In this arid wilderness, big trucks are big business. In a man's world, the truckers don't come tougher than Heather Jones.
Quite rare for women.
Mercedes,
to
okay.
do the work that I do, specifically this kind of heavy haulage work. There's probably only 4 or 5 of us that do it.
Heather's about to begin a crucial job, moving sections of Australia's largest mobile crane. At up to 600 tonnes and 200 metres high, it's a colossal jigsaw puzzle. Heather's journey will take her from Karratha to a port in Onslow. She must complete the trip twice in just 2 days. It's a 1,200 kilometre run through some of Australia's hottest, most isolated highlands. In such a harsh environment, preparation can be a matter of life and death.
You do need to prepare yourself, and you need to change your entire attitude.
Surviving out here can be tough,
You've got the heat, the dirt, the dust, and the fires that you've got to contend with.
but it was hard times that first inspired Heather to get behind the wheel.
I've had big challenges in life, and the first one was finding myself as a single mum. My marriage broke down, and I had 2 little girls that I had to support. At that time, I couldn't afford childcare, so a friend of mine gave me a job to drive his truck. So driving a truck gave me the opportunity to take the children with me in the truck on the road and homeschool them as well for the first 7 years. That was a bit of a challenge.
I'll see you when I get home.
In Karratha, the first and heaviest components of the giant crane are being loaded onto Heather's triple road train.
Wow.
The crane is precious freight. It's the only one of its kind in the country, worth more than $11 million.
The Gulf West is
11 mil? Wow.
So obviously get everything down there safely in one piece. And it's a very, very expensive bit of equipment.
The responsibility of securing 6 massive counterweights falls squarely on Heather's shoulders.
Well, this weighs 12.5 tonnes. You can imagine what would happen if it came off at 100 kilometres an hour or 100 kilometres an hour.
Fully loaded, Heather will be behind the wheel of a huge 100 tonnes. If she were towing that weight in cars, her road train would be a massive 300 metres long.
Wow.
But the biggest weight on Heather's mind is out of her control.
The biggest challenge for this job over the few days is the weather.
On these roads, it's survival of the fittest.
Yesterday it's 44 degrees.
Heather will put her strength to the test, even before she rolls out.
Physically it's quite demanding. You've got to have a little bit of upper body strength, otherwise when throwing chains and tying loads down you can't get them tight enough.
It's been a half an hour ride before it comes to work, believe me.
With the load secure, Heather's ready to take on the baking highway. The heat is on. If just one piece of the crane gets damaged or doesn't make it in time, she could hold up a job worth millions of dollars. On the edge of the South Australian outback, 42-year-old Mark Cromwell is midway through the biggest job of his 10-year career. It's Mark's mission to deliver an entire electrical switch room deep into the boiling heart of a desert.
When you get there, you hear what you don't, and everyone points the finger at you, and the old soldiers go come in. 0 or 0, that's how it works out.
Mark's heading from Adelaide to a gas field near the remote town of Moomba, deep in the South Australian outback. At 1,000 kilometres, it's like hauling a house from London to Milan. But this isn't any ordinary building. Worth $3 million, the load is packed with fragile electronic equipment.
Originally, the client's design was 3 building sections, so there was like an office, a light switch room, and a heavy switch room.
Ordinarily, the 3 sections would have been delivered on 3 separate trucks. But Mark staked his reputation on getting the job done in one trip.
Get it there in one piece, as one unit, so that saves the client the drama of trying to assemble it.
Heavier than the space shuttle and longer than a basketball court, it's a massive logistical nightmare.
You got a big egg on your face if you get halfway and you're stuck there. And then you go, oh, sorry, I couldn't get it there.
So far, Mark's made it through the heart of Adelaide, South Australia's biggest city, squeezing the vast load through tight streets and under low bridges. But standing between him and Moomba is an even tougher challenge.
We're going to do a bath on the beautiful Stresley track. Well, reports is in pretty bad shape.
The Stresley track, or Stress, is 370 kilometres of dirt, dust, and bone-shaking corrugations. Out here, temperatures can reach a blistering 50 degrees Celsius. To protect the freight, it's slowed down.
High as Death Valley. 100.
Throw them out in the dirt and
50 degrees, 120 degrees Fahrenheit.
The next 376 kilometers.
With 95 tons of hardware to haul, the job's too big for Mark alone. Helping to push the load is a second truck, driven by Brad.
I reckon I've got about 2 meters of vision in front of me, and that's about it. That's all I'll be saying for the next 4 or 5 days.
The final member of the team is mechanic and spotter Sylvia.
A couple of sharp rocks on the road, and I just pull them out, take them, jam between the 2 tyres.
The team's under massive pressure. The switch room must be in Mumba in just 3 days' time.
Just gonna go so slow. Just a horrible road.
Every day it's late will cost Mark's company $50,000 in penalties.
The whole building will just be shake, ratting and rolling back there.
Pushed him up, and a single mistake could cost millions and Mark's career.
Quite this today.
In Queensland, Turbo's struggling to get power to his cab. He has 2,500 kilometres to cover in 3 days. This is time he doesn't have.
That little bloody fuse is not funny.
Luckily, it's just a blown fuse. A $2 replacement should do the job. Only problem, finding one.
Where the bloody crap do I carry you here, right?
With no replacement to hand, the fix is textbook Turbo.
Run hot wire.
Stripping down a piece of wire.
We have power.
This and that.
Turbo needs to make up lost time. But as darkness falls, something in his wing mirror catches his attention.
I look at the mirror.
There's sparks flying from the back of the truck.
Remember, it ain't good.
Turbo needs to pull over as fast as possible. Where there's sparks, there can be fire.
Nope.
At the rear of Turbo's 40-metre road train lies the culprit.
Chains.
A chain that's supposed to be holding a 28-ton excavator.
Wait, someone knows.
If he hadn't caught the problem in time, the load could have become dangerously unstable.
Just going to show how rough these roads are. My train was super bloody tight from here it is.
No. Go on to the zoo Thursday.
It's one of them things you don't bloody see until after it happens.
Next morning, Turbo's on the road early. He wants to check in with wife Jo in Brisbane.
No, let's.
Not sure yet.
I've got an overheating shutdown.
Turbo's engine troubles are back. He's 200 kilometres from the nearest town, in the midst of the outback.
Oh, I've got one day.
It's a dangerous place to have a problem. On the northwest coastal highway, Heather Jones is hauling her road train through blistering heat.
We've measured it over 52 degrees.
After 20 years driving the big rigs, she knows the road hazards all too well.
Cattle, sheep, kangaroos. You can hit a cow and it's all over.
So far, the journey's been trouble-free.
Nope.
But after a stop to check the load, suddenly there's an alarming call on the two-way.
Just heard on the radio that there's rocks on the road near the roundabout, so I don't know what's the road we're on. Really be careful.
It's not much to go on. Heather hopes truckers ahead may know more. It's the call no trucker wants to hear. Up ahead, a truck has rolled. But Heather doesn't know exactly where. With no idea what could be around.
Race is going on right now in Michigan. Can't watch it because it's on Prime. Next week, you're going to Mexico. I can't watch it. It's on Prime. That's only pisses me off. I can't watch the NASCAR race because it's on Prime.
Mark Cromwell is crawling through a vast expanse of desert. on the Strzelecki track. Despite the barren landscape,
Usually don't do the news at 6 o'clock on Sunday due to the golf crap.
Cattle grids between Lyndhurst and Moonville. Well, Silvio, I think he's going to have a gut full of them by the time we get there.
the responsibility for getting Mark's 7.5-metre wide load through the cattle grids falls to mechanic Silvio. In 40-degree heat, he must check the width of every one of them. With wiring, plumbing and gas pipes outside the building, any obstacles could cause serious damage to the switch room.
I was outside earlier today until I had internet problems, and I came back inside the house.
These road signs will have to make way.
It's supposed to rain around 7 tonight, which I'm ready for it. You know,
Silvio wants to get ahead quickly and check the next grid. But he must be careful. Heat stroke is a constant threat.
So they just walk, they run around.
The next grid is just 10 centimetres wider than the switch room. There's no margin for error.
Yeah,
wow, I didn't know that. I'm doing something else, so yeah, I didn't know that.
how many nil have I got outside?
Tomorrow, I got plans.
Heather Jones is driving straight into the path of serious truck accident. News of a rollover is something all
It always makes you
Yep.
very concerned when you hear that there's been an accident.
I'm not sure yet. I think I'll save my money up for the War Carnival this week.
We could be held up that many hours.
No, gonna go home one of these days. Might go to Dad's, might not go to Dad's tomorrow. I might stay home all day tomorrow and do work, do YouTube work.
It's happened recently. There's no emergency services here, or there's no crane, or there's no one here to
Nope.
pick it up. There's a trailer that's rolled on its triple. In front of us on our side of the lane. The rocks are all over the road on the right. It's destroyed the road.
Despite the carnage, no one's hurt. But it could have been a very different story.
The size of those rocks. Obviously, there would have been a fatality if the rocks had hit someone. Straight away, your concern is for your fellow truck drivers. Then your heart goes out to those boys as well.
Finally, Heather rolls into Onslow. But her work is far from done. In 40-degree heat, she must disconnect her trailers and haul each one to the drop-off point. But there's a problem.
I'm not getting any joy.
The release mechanism connecting the trailer to the truck is jammed.
I don't know. I already did it 4 times for you guys.
On the mine, they spray salt water on the road, so that might have made all the working mechanism a little bit tighter.
Heather hopes reversing will loosen the connection.
Seven. We'll release now.
But it's still not budging. Without Heather's freight, the $11 million crane can't be assembled. If she can't fix the problem, the whole operation and her reputation will be at risk. In the South Australian outback, a cattle grid has brought Mark Cromwell to a sudden halt. Mechanic Silvio needs to force 2 road signs out of the way. The last thing Mark wants is to arrive with damaged freight. With just centimetres to spare, Mark tries again.
Oh,
He's through, but perfectionist Mark isn't happy.
Did we touch that, Sylvia?
What's happening is 7.6 wide, but you have to go on an angle.
Yeah, but if we've got spotters, how are we touching anything?
From now on, Silvio must dismantle every road sign.
There's no point putting all this hard work in and damage the building.
1,000 kilometres out of Darwin, Turbo's got big problems with an overheating engine.
Type major stuff here.
It's covered a whopping 1.3 million kilometres, like driving around the Earth 30 times.
I don't know. So I bloody open that bottom and I have a look at it.
If the trouble is serious, Turbo's trip could be over right here.
almost done with this video. We're halfway done. Okay, we're halfway done this episode. So after this episode's over, we're done.
There's no sign of a problem. Turbo thinks an air pocket in the truck's cooling system might be the culprit.
Heaven tank's full of water. When I'm actually starting to think maybe I've got a bloody airlock in there somewhere.
He hopes that opening a release valve on the red-hot engine will clear the blockage.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, that's hot. Oh.
Scalding water has hit Turbo in the eye.
You know, imagine getting the kettle and sticking your hand in it and just flicking it over your face. That's what it's like. Right on the point of the actual eyeball itself.
If getting burnt wasn't enough, the engine problem is still a mystery.
I don't know why it overheated. I don't know what lights I've got. Plenty of fluid. I have no idea.
But with every minute lost, Turbo's falling further behind time. If he's to make Darwin on schedule, he must get back on the road. One more problem, and it could be game over for the engine and his business.
Dip.
On the Streslecki track, Mark Cromwell has run into a new challenge.
Dips.
A section of steep dips and rises. To get up and over them, he'll need help from second
Tonight.
driver Brad.
Tonight,
There you go.
I'm just waiting there and tonight with my phone.
He must watch the load closely. In a dip, Mark's trailer could bottom out, hitting the road beneath and stopping the truck in its tracks.
Bottom out's bad. No matter how much horsepower you got, if you bottom out, you don't go.
I'm gonna play some game. I'm gonna play some GTA later.
It's trying to drag. That's why I'm pushing it.
I'm gonna play some GTA. I might play some Forza. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet.
Mark must inch his way through it.
We're scraping already, are we?
Everything out, mate.
The trailer has dug into the dirt. If Mark tries to drag it out, he risks burying the drawbar even deeper. It's up to Brad to push the whole convoy up the hill. If he loses traction, they'll be stripped.
Nope.
While the convoy's out, Silvio spotted something else.
Got a steering problem. Fire rod's come off. We have to put it back on.
Gosh, broken the guts out of it.
A steering rod has sheared away under the massive strain of the boat.
Oh, bearings come in. That wheel was just being basically in limbo, which can do whatever it wants. You damaged something real bad in very little time.
It's down to Silvio to repair the broken rod. After a tough day on the stress, it's yet another delay. Heather Jones is battling in blistering heat to release her jammed trailer. If she can't unload her freight, the entire multi-million-dollar crane assembly will be in jeopardy. She hopes a fellow trucker can provide her with an extra pair of hands. Heather will rock the truck back and forth,
What's your feet?
while the trucker pulls hard on the handle.
What? Did you sell? We used to sell popcorn, and this and that. I mean, it comes with butter already on it. If you want anything else like that, add it yourself.
Nothing seems to be working. Heather's fast running out of options.
What I'm going to do now is try and ratchet it out.
Blue raspberry, green, cotton candy, and strawberry.
Put it in the center and pull it out.
$2.
Finally, Heather's able to offload the crane counterweights.
Nope, no grape yet.
That was a pretty hard day today.
But it's just the halfway point. Tomorrow, she'll have to deal with it.
I will be there this Thursday, and I will be there this Saturday after I go to the car show this Saturday in 3 Rivers. This Saturday is a car show, and yes, we will be going live to that. Yes, we'll be doing that one live.
It's a dangerous time on the road.
And Popcorn Stand will be closed that day,
Out here,
those days,
is fear,
I think.
especially for kangaroos.
They are a menace. They do a lot of damage. That's why we do run big solid bull bars.
At up to 90 kilos, an adult group can punch a serious hole in even the toughest truck.
I worked pretty good. I worked 3 days this week at the Popcorn Stand, and 1 day at work. So yeah, we go home and sleep. I'm just sleep.
There's no knowing where or when trouble will strike.
Right over the trailer. That's damage, I can tell you that now.
You hear a kangaroo?
I'm lucky. Broken mud flat.
Okay, that's not bad.
$30 to fix.
But the roo's done more damage than just a mud flap.
Rip the slack adjuster out. Pull all the brakes apart.
Oh,
That's how much damage these roos do alone.
So the air brake.
That brake is not going to work now.
Turbo's lost one of his brakes. Replacement parts are 400 kilometers away.
all I can do is just laugh. That's all I can do. Because if I don't laugh, I'm going to cry.
Turbo's concern now is if the damaged booster breaks off altogether.
If that brake booster actually completely breaks off all the way and starts dragging on the ground, I'm going to have a sudden loss of air, which is then going to lock up the trailer and the truck because I've got no air to keep the brakes released.
He must nurse his wounded truck into Darwin. What he doesn't need now is to slam on his brakes.
Nope, you listened to today. Listened to him yesterday.
After repairing a broken steering rod, Mark Cromwell is back on the road.
rough here now.
I'm gonna finish up this episode, and then I'm gonna be done with this and do something else.
Sharp rocks litter the surface of the track.
Got potential to come to the tires.
The trucks take a beating. Every few kilometers, the convoy must stop.
I don't know.
Trailers' wheels.
I don't even know who they are. I don't even know who's on. All I know is WLKM. WLKM is Liz and Chris. On WRCI, I'm not sure who's on WRCI.
If they miss just one, it could lead to a dangerous blowout.
Yeah, I'm better than winning or
In the scorching heat, it's an exhausting ride.
But this wasn't in the brochure, I know that much.
Where? Nope. Constantine Street.
After spending
Constantine Street in around the corner. You can actually see the radio station tower from my house. Constantine Street, which is just up the road. You can actually see the radio station tower from my house. That's how close it is to here. That's how far we are from it. It's around the corner practically. And we actually have been there a few times on the channel. We've actually been there one time on the channel. Right next to the public works office.
A brake is jammed. It's overheating. One of the biggest dangers a heavy haulage team can face. Just 6 months ago, a friend of Mark's filmed his own truck going up in flames because of the same problem.
get $1 million, 150-ton crane on the back of the float. Just caught on fire, and it doesn't matter how many fire extinguishers you put into it, it won't put it out once it's going.
The studios on Constantine Street here in Three Rivers. So yeah, just actually later on, if we too, I will do a video, a pre-recorded video later with my cell phone, showing you guys what the station is, because you can see the towers from my window, from my porch. I'm not going there tomorrow because that's just too dangerous. It's just dangerous. It's real dangerous to get over there, though. But yeah, I can show you where it is, but I can show you the station is my phone later.
With so much weight on board, she's concerned how the tires on her oversized trailer will cope with the blistering heat.
Yeah, they had a crane a few years ago go up there a few years ago working on it. There was a crane on there a few years ago.
With millions of dollars at stake, it's pilot Andre's job.
So I'm gonna do a video in a little bit.
Cars coming out here going 110, you need to give as much warning as possible.
Being a pilot comes with huge responsibility, but on
Give me a second. I couldn't see it, guys. There's this thing called a tree in the way. You can usually see it, but right now there's a tree in the way, so maybe for a future date. The water tower, I can't show you either. The water tower and the radio station are right next to each other. They confused the radio tower. I mean,
it's got another reason to be on top.
that's actually, I would take a private trip if I did that.
Yeah, she's,
The water tower and the radio station are right next to each other practically.
she's great. And I'm not just saying that. She's actually the one that got me into doing this in the first place. So.
I can't get nowhere near neither one of them because right now there's a tree in the way, so I can't show you the station. A future day, I'll show you. A future day, I'll do. I have done videos of the radio station on my channel. It's a CC video. I think CC2, WRC. Yeah. I've been to the water tower. I've been to the water tower a few times. No problems.
is so large, it must be delivered
It's okay.
before nightfall.
It filters, so we're good.
She hits a barrage of traffic, keeping Andre busy.
Water's okay. I'm not used to drinking. I'm drinking well. I mean, when I first moved here, the water tasted funny because I don't drink city water. I drink well water, so I'm not used to drinking city water. I've been living here for 12 years now. Still not used to it. I prefer well water over city water. When I take a shower, it tastes like chlorine. Most of the time, it tastes fine. Still not used to drinking city water. I mostly drink bottled water or well water. I don't drink city water that much.
The temperature's into the 40s.
Ooh.
Wants to check her tires.
These tires are really hot though. Burn your hands to touch. Once we get off, we'll have to go a bit slow.
No. My grandparents have well water.
But she'll be cutting it fine to get to her destination before dark.
No, I have city water, which tastes funny.
Then suddenly, there's nowhere safe for the massive truck to pull over. Heather must keep driving and hope the tire doesn't start to disintegrate. If it does, she risks hot rubber and metal, causing a multiple roll.
Ooh, that has to suck.
A herd of wandering cattle is putting Turbo's damaged brakes to a severe test.
Dumb cows.
The truck survived the near miss. After a colossal 3,500 kilometers, the end is in sight.
Almost there. Maybe click south of Darwin.
Turbo can check in with his client and bring the load home.
Yeah, just let Dave Turbo do the transport for the excavators. You've probably seen me come around the corner now. Yeah, I do.
After a 4-day battle with his truck,
No, it's a John Deere.
he's back. And the outback. Turbo's made it to the finish, and he has a happy client.
Alright, mate, I start setting this, getting it ready. The customer is the one who puts the bread and butter on the table every night. My customers will always come first.
For this one-man trucking empire,
I don't want to climb up there, not like that.
it's a painful step towards global domination.
I want to become one of the biggest companies in the country. I want to be a global player. And I would like to be able to supply a transport service through road, air, and sea.
Heather Jones has an emergency on her hands. She urgently needs to find a safe place to stop before a blown tire can do damage to her truck.
I knew it. I gotta change it.
Now Heather has another challenge. Replacing the tire in scorching heat.
It was 44 when we pulled up, so we got flies and it's pretty hot, so burn your knees and everything. Tires hot, the rings hot, wheels are hot. It's definitely fine because of the heat. Have a look at the tire, it's still got heaps of tread on it, so it's definitely the heat. It's pretty tight, they're locked on.
Changing the wheel.
Ha ha ha, real funny.
Risk of holding up the crane assembly.
That lift with the two cranes, we'll have to be put back to tomorrow, so hopefully we'll get there before nightfall, otherwise we're not allowed on the road.
She must get the job done quickly.
Which one? Which one? Field trips or the other one?
Ready to go. That's hot. Oh, yeah, like, you on drive, thank you.
There's little over
Yeah, there's two shows: Inspector Gadget and Inspector Gadget's Field Trips. You just watch Inspector Gadget's Field Trips.
It really is challenging because if you've got a deadline to put your foot down and risk blowing another tyre, and then you lose an hour, you just stay steady, so you're just straight in when the sun goes down.
with millions
Okay.
of dollars at
It's been a
stake.
while.
The whole job's hanging in the balance.
What is with this guy driving in people's yards?
The last rays of daylight are fading fast.
It's already 5 o'clock. Wow.
On the radio.
The lift has been put back a day, we won't make it before 6 o'clock, which is the cut-off time for this superstructure to be taken off the float.
Heather can now pull up and cruise to the finish line in the morning.
Somebody's driving. No, the neighbor's yard again.
The 80-ton super.
So under my yard, I'd be calling the cops.
The assembly of Australia's biggest mobile crane can get underway.
I'd be calling. So under my yard, I'd be calling the cops. I'd be calling the cops right at the bat.
Massive pressure and in brutal conditions, Heather Jones has delivered. But in Australia's trucking heartland, there's one rule: do it all again tomorrow.
So if you let when you drop your trailers and you're this long tail hard on with 100 carries, job's over and get it back done.
Mechanic Silvio must fix an overheating brake that's in danger of catching fire. He's found the problem: a broken brake booster.
Sounds like this second exit.
Ah, it hurt like hell. Why is it in my ear? Why was that? That was in my ear. Back in a second, guys.
So that's about our biggest fear in there.
Back in a second. Sylvia. Wish I make some money right now, but yeah, we're almost done with this video. Then I can do something else.
Game is dragging a brake because you got so much horsepower and so many wheels. You don't
Not my yard.
This builds up heat and then you catch on fire. West Coast.
Silvio's quick response has saved the day.
Back that all off and put it back on again so it's not leaking. Alright, that was lucky. Well done, thanks mate.
For the last 3 days, Mark Cromwell has hauled his massive freight through the highway.
All right, should I do a long video tomorrow or not?
In 50-degree temperatures.
If we do a long video tomorrow, I will not be going to Dad's. If we do a long video tomorrow, I will not be going to Dad's.
Civilization start to appear.
So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
It was Mark's dream to deliver this building in 1
7,
month.
8, 9, 10,
He's
11.
risked his 10-year career to
I don't know. You guys want to do a long video tomorrow?
There's plenty of people going to be.
Well, I'll talk about that in a little bit.
Put your balls online when you sit there and tell them to make a building.
Because if you want me to do a long video tomorrow, no Dad's. We'll start at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning and do a long video.
He's moved the vast multi-million-dollar freight 1,000 kilometers through the heart of a city and the guts of the desert.
So it's up to you guys want me to do that or not.
Yeah, we're going to make it.
Okay, we'll do it all day. So that means no dads tomorrow. I mean, all day video tomorrow from 6 to who knows what then. Or you want me to do an all night video? We'll do that out in a minute. We'll stay on, guys. But yeah, we're done. We're done with our 2 episodes we had to do today. So I don't know. Should I do an all night video? Start at 6. How about we do an all nighter? Are you guys happy? We did an all nighter. I can also do an all night video if you want me to. We can also do an all night video if you want me to. I'll gotta reset that before I do that. I have to reset the computer though before I do that. Maybe we'll do that in a little bit. But first things first, if we do that, I'm gonna have to get my. Should I do an all nighter? If I do that, then an all nighter for me is get it done by. I don't know what we're doing yet, guys. I have no clue what I should do. Let's see what Top Gear has on. Real You guys don't care what I do, so I'm gonna get off this and reset.